my phone doesn't work. I have no idea where the office is. I have no idea where the hotel is.
You transfer over to Team Gary. What was that first week like? Now you're in your dream job pretty much at the time, right? Like, what was that like?
It's fucking crazy, man. So I get back from vacation, day one, feelings of euphoria are just through the roof. I'm like, this is insane. This is so cool. I'm ready for whatever. And David goes, all right, cool, man. So I'm going to have you book a flight for tomorrow. You're going to London for 24 hours with Gary. You're flying in the morning and you're leaving that night to come back. For context, I had only done one international trip before this. It was to Iceland. So like customs was so foreign to me. The way Gary rolls is like, Gary is going where he needs to go. His time is extremely valuable and he doesn't have a whole lot of like extra time. Actually, he has like no extra time. So like our job as the videographer is like, keep up, you know? And like, he has TSA clear, yeah, pre-check, but then there's the international one. He had that, I did not. I'm just chilling in line in customs, stressed out of my mind, like, oh fuck, like my phone doesn't work because it's international. I have no idea where the office is. I have no idea where the hotel is. Like I have an address, that's about it. But like, how do I order an Uber? How do I order a cab? All of this, right? Which I love. Like I was stressed, but also like at the same time, I'm stressed.
Like the adventure, yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, this is a great story. Literally day 2 on Team Gary, I'm like thrown to the wolves. It was perfect. So like I figured it out, got a cab, most expensive cab I've ever paid for in my life because it was like 45 minutes or whatever. And I get like car sick, like real easily. I was just the whole way and got to the hotel. We had the hotel even though we weren't staying the night. So like slept, showered, and boom, we went to the office, meetings. And then there was an event that night with soccer football player, Gary and him talking. It was a great event. And then literally we leave from there, go back to the airport and fly back. And then in the office the next day. Very quickly, I was like, oh, this is awesome. I love working. And this is a place that rewards loving working. And this is a place that like gives you the opportunity to like really push it. I would watch the comments that people would put on his content. For whatever reason, I don't know why this is, I'm like very observant of little micro expressions, changes, any little tweaks in somebody's body language when I'm filming them, not just like every whole person. And so like I would notice I'd be looking, not like snooping on his phone, but at a side angle, I could see he's writing a tweet. And so I would just watch him. Yeah. And as soon as he would hit go, tweet, I was like, this is my moment. He's in between tasks. Right? Like there's a millisecond where if I ask him a question, I'm going to get his attention. So I would wait for it and then boom, he would hit it. And I'd be like, hey, how do you apply empathy towards, a family member that has hurt you or whatever, I would just like, I had my questions ready. When I was on the team, like if you're a traveling videographer, you're more than just filming. This is not required. He never asked, but the way I just viewed it, it was like, I'm going to take on whatever I see as an inconvenience for him. So like, walking through the airport, sometimes, I'd be like, I'll roll your suitcase while I'm filming you kind of thing. Like, I'd be coordinating with the amazing executive assistants. When I was on there, the main person I was working with was Alex, and she fucking love her. She's awesome. So we'd be like texting back and forth. Like she'd be like, hey, are you guys about to head to this meeting? Like I was the boots on the ground to keep her updated on like whether or not we were keeping the calendar according to the calendar. I'd be checking the calendar all the time because it'd be like, maybe we had a 5-minute gap and Gary's like on a call that he just took ad hoc. And I'd be like, hey, G, you got a call in 2 minutes that you got to hop on while I'm filming, So it's like, I'm like low-key, like looking at the calendar, managing his stuff. Like people would come up and give him gifts all the time. And his first thing is like turn to whoever the videographer is, whether it's Jason, David, Dustin, myself, and he would just hand that to us because we have a backpack or whatever. Yeah. We don't have a backpack and we put it under our arm while we're filming or whatever. But like, that was kind of what that first trip was figuring out that cadence and trying to observe like different things that I felt like were areas in addition to filming and video that I could help do as well, just to try and make his life a little bit easier, and I don't want this to come across incorrectly, but Kings had like an armor bearer, right? Their whole goal was to protect and make the king's life easier. It's like a very biblical thing. I kind of looked at it like, I'm going to try and be that for Gary. You know, I don't want to just be a videographer. I want to like do other things for him and try and make this a better experience. I always have believed that like you have your core role, but if you're able to fill in things around that, that is a differentiator. Because there's a ton of people that are really good at that core thing, like millions that are better. But if you're good at doing all the other things too, that's a great way, in my opinion, to stand out.